What time? That's bad. How many days a week though? 4 days a week, 5:30 to 9. And how long's that gonna last? Oh, till December. Oh, that's not bad. It's gonna be torture, but it's not good. It's gonna be torture. It's character building. Eli was just telling me that he's got a job now, and he thinks he's gonna keep this one for a while. It's not exactly diesel repair, but it's similar. It's mechanical, and but he's got to finish his diesel repair certificate, and that's going to require 4 hours a night, 5 days a week, till December. But after that, he'll be a master ASC certified technician. So tonight I thought that I would show people how I debug my bug list in 5-minute multiboxing. And if you want to report a bug, go to the Discord server and go to bug reports and put a number after the bug. So find the last bug that somebody reported. Like the last one someone reported was 9. So the next bug is going to be 10. And I'll get to them. Trying to get to one tonight. My goodness. Would you just go away here? Lay up here like a cat. Yeah. Look at that. Lay there. Lay there like a cat. No? No? Oh, jeez. Alright, well. So the first bug that I'm looking at tonight is that guy back there died, apparently, when Valatorn tried to do this earlier. So we have to see if there's an issue with the only 2 days a week. What are you worried about? That's like my DUI course. Oh man. All right, let's kill Barricade. Now, one thing I do hate about running my streaming software, and this is why I have to get an external stream capture, is I lose 20 frames per second. And you know what? I'm kind of sick of losing that 20 frames per second. Next to Night Mana in 17 seconds. That's what you have to watch here for Baron Geddon. Just keep him like, I don't know, right here maybe. And 9, 8, 7, 6. Then you hit the dodge button. Dodge your entire raid. 4, 2, 1. Now, there are going to be some guys who get Ignite Mana because they don't dodge. Tanks don't dodge. Oh wow, I have the bomb. Isn't that cute? Now, if you have full fire resist gear, you can just stand in Inferno without worrying about it. But I don't pull the rogues into this fight just because I don't need to. Number one, and number two is by the way, is Enticer back there doing his job? Yes, he is. So Enticer's about to get blowed up. So next to Night Mana in 6, 5, 4. You know what? I feel like we got some Ignite Manas. Yeah, I missed the Ignite Mana because I was shooting my mouth off. And not just that. We are getting a lot of priests lockup. Yeah, the priests are locking up, which is the worst possible thing that can happen. And that's what I've been writing all of this code for the past few weeks for, is to stop this locking up. And yeah, The priests are locking up because of all the Ignite manas, I guess. So there's going to be a wipe. And look at this. Shaman says that's a priest. This is my guest priest. I brought in a guest to die. No, that's discouraging. No, the priests are never ever supposed to lock up like that. So I noticed the icon is the Ignite mana icon. So this Ignite mana icon is interesting because even though I don't think I added Ignite mana to the decurse list, let's check. I call it the DCR spell table. No, I don't. I call it the curse list. The curse list. So I do have Ignite mana on the curse list. So Ignite mana is being decursed, but I mean, here's the problem. It's locking up the priest, which it's not supposed to do. I mean, that's the reason I did the full rewrite, is to prevent the priest from locking up, and the priests are still locking up. So we have to do some debugging and figure out why that's happening. Man, I do not need this on a Friday night. So let's start resin people. And now I'll show you how to write a bug. So here's a bug. 10. First join my Discord server. Priests locking up during Geddon when Ignite mana hits raid. And yes, that is the worst possible thing that can happen. What's up, Samson Slice? Yes, I'm streaming. But it's more of a debug stream. I'm going to show people how I troubleshoot the code tonight. And in fact, you know what? One of the things we're going to do right away is turn on... We're going to go up here to the top and turn on debug messages. Not debug messages, report CPU. Report CPU will report how many milliseconds each click takes. And in doing so, kind of help us figure out why we're locking up and where we're locking up. I've got some debug messages still on the res order. I did troubleshoot the double resing a little bit. The problem is I'm not sure I can fix what's wrong. It's kind of a race condition when the dynamic is changing in the raid, when people are resing up and they're getting their mana back, and sometimes I'll click res and somebody won't have enough mana to be considered a reser, and then another click later they do have enough mana, and suddenly you've got a double res going. So I don't know, I gotta think that one through. It's not that big a deal. What was I doing here? What was I doing here before? My fan got online. Oh, I was turning off that message. Resmall. Okay, so in Resimol, I clearly have a print statement somewhere. Yep, right there. Printing a table. I'll keep the my order in the healer list statement, but I'll get rid of that print table. I was using that to debug the double resing issue. We'll figure that out. Now, don't ever reload all your windows with the reload button when you're resing, because if you reload while you're dead and it has that release spirit button, it releases your spirit to the graveyard, and once you release spirit to the graveyard, you cannot be resed with the 8 button. You can't be auto-resed. You can't be resed with API code, API functions. You have to point and click at the body in the game, and that's no way to res when you're a multi-boxer. So you must not do that. All right. So how are we going to figure out how? Now we're all alive. So let's do a full reset so I can get the debug messages in and some of those debug messages out and the click time in. We got to look at click time tonight really well, and we're gonna, because that was sorrowful. That amount of lockup was sorrowful. I really thought I had it beat. I really did, and clearly it's not beat. And that sucks because my self-esteem is lower now. Now, I know that if I turn decursive off, not decursive, I'm not using decursive during the fight, but I know that if I turn my decurse function off, that lockup won't happen anymore. And we're going to test that right now. Okay, so click times are in the 15 millisecond range right now during setup, but that doesn't mean they're going to stay that way. Let's move Enticer back. Enticer is our follow target. So one of the ways you do certain boss fights in WoW multiboxing is you'll set somebody apart from the raid and make him a follow target. And basically you just use him to make people who are buffed with a horrible buff that needs to get them out of the group to run away. It's just how you run away legally without botting. And that's what we do. Let's keep. Okay, Salmon Slice says, my last 3 dudes for my 20-man team are 55! So close! Work on some more tonight. Yeah, we have two of Bird Free's guys. A new member of the Discord team, and VG Gaming, really, VG Multiboxing. We have 2 of his guys in here for the Major Domo chest. I guess he wants the Leaf and the Eye of Divinity. I haven't seen the Eye of Divinity drop in a while. Tonight must be the night. But I mean, we might not get anywhere if I don't get this debugging working. Now you can see the priests are now buffing, and now the click time. Now the click time has jumped up to 172 milliseconds. 156 milliseconds, 140 milliseconds. Now for setup, do you really care that your windows lock up during setup? Not really. But it's a combination of frame rate, which right now is not great, if I'm honest. Frame rate is not great for me right now. Some combination of the way everything worked out and OBS. It's like I need to relog all my characters to get a good frame rate. But since it's a low frame rate, it does stress the code more, and it forces me to figure out issues with decursing on slow systems, which mine is not. But I can get caught in weird circumstances where all the frame rates are really low. So let's do the first experiment. First experiment is going to add a if one then return end to decurse. All right. If one then return end, that by adding that line to the beginning of any function, basically it disables that function. It says return from this function without doing anything. So now we have to reload everybody, but I don't want to reload my main tank because he doesn't decurse anyway. I just want to reload everybody else. So I moved the reload button on my main tank to a different spot. And now I'm going to tilde click everybody's reload button. Now everybody else is going to reload that code change except for my tank. So because I don't want to drag these bars out again. And nobody's, after a year and a half, nobody's figured out a way for me to get these bars out automatically. I need a widget programmer. Somebody who's better at the graphical side of programming and the WoW UI. Okay, notice I did bring up Enticer inadvertently, not accidentally. Inadvertently, I brought up Enticer, and so we have to move him back. Because people who get the bomb need to get the fook out of the way. Alright, so let's go kill him. Now we probably are going to kill him because no one's going to lock up. We're going to close that window. I should just reload. I should reload, reboot, restart the stream because these frame rates are a little lower than necessary. Now Valatorn, he cleared out this place earlier today. And I got to just kind of walk in and start getting it done, which is what I like doing. I like the trash being gone. So I just body pulled him, and I'm backing up. As soon as you enter your True Shot aura range, you should always have a True Shot hunter in your group if you can. So. And now, how are the priests looking? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's Ignite Mana. We got the hell out of the way. Let's hit Burst and really thrust it. The bomb ran away. The bomb is standing in Enticer. So the bomb, Enticer was not far away enough. So the bomb did hit the entire raid. So that was kind of bullshit, man. Make sure your bomb follow is out of the way. That's for sure. Ooh, and we took an Ignite Mana. So I'm just going to hit G and get rid of most of those Ignite Manas. Watch your main tank's health because you don't want your main tank to die while you're decursing Ignite Mana. Next Ignite Mana 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I don't know. I don't think the timers were right there. I think we did get a good dose of Ignite Manas there. Another dose of Ignite Manas. So definitely not going well, but you know what else isn't happening? The priests aren't locking up. So, and we're here to debug. We're not necessarily here to defeat the boss, but we are here to debug. However, you know, I think we're kind of hamstrung by a really low frame rate. So I do have to restart the stream. I'm gonna stop real quick, reboot, restart the stream, and we'll get back on the road here. I want everybody to die, actually. Real fast here, because we're going to wipe this up again. All right, 2 issues there. One silly issue, which was Enticer was simply not far away enough from the raid to prevent the raid from getting blown up by a bomb. Now, that's a silly mistake, and it simply comes from being out of practice. It's been more than a week, I think, since I streamed. Maybe a full week since I streamed. So, but I am not going to actually log out until I do a full res, because if you log out when you're dead, you will release to the spirit reser, and when you're in Molten Core, you do not ever want to release your whole raid to the spirit reser if you can at all avoid it, because then you have to run back and jump through the window, and nobody wants that. Jumping through the window is a pain in the ass, and running back's a pain in the ass. Let's face it, we're gonna have to res anyway, right? So you might as well res before you log out. Okay, all right. So we're gonna put decurse back in, but we're going to reboot and see, if maybe the computer was in a sorry state. One of the things I like to use to track my computer and how it's going is core temp. And let's see what core temp is saying about our computer. Alright, you probably can't read this, but core temp says we are running at 5 gigahertz, and it says the max temperature of any of the cores since startup is only 73 degrees, so damn. I mean, 5 gigahertz, 4 cores, 8 threads, only running 20 windows and OBS. Nah, there's something wrong. I'm gonna reboot. It should be breezing along. Yeah, it's been too long. Well, I mean, I don't like streaming unless I have something new to stream. I don't like, just doing the same thing over and over again, because, I mean, I'd rather let other 5-minute multiboxers do the things that I've done, or even, show me them doing things that I haven't done. That's even more exciting. But today, the spin I'm putting on it is, debug session, real debugging going on. And here's what I have to worry about. So once I commented this out, once I got decurse out of the mix, the priests stopped locking up, and that really bothers me. That really bothers me, because that means we're spending way too much time in decurse. And actually, you know what? We have the debug messages up, so I'm going to blow this guy up. We're going to scroll back to the fight and kind of get a feel for what the debug messages were looking like. Ooh, I may have... nope, I can't get back to the fight. Too many res attempts and too many print statements blanked it all out. So I was gonna look at what sort of click times I was getting during the fight. I mean, that's really important, is checking your click times, which I only added the click time function in recent updates. So all right, something about decurse. All right, let's look at decurse. Decurse first goes through the blacklist, the range blacklist. If anybody's on a range blacklist, it resets them after 5 seconds. Okay, fine. Nobody's on a range blacklist. Then if you're busy by casting a spell, I actually need to keep resing while we're while we're talking here. If you're busy casting a spell, then it returns, meaning it doesn't do anything. It waits for you to finish casting your spell. If you don't actually have a decursive spell for your class, then it returns. You're not a decursor. I probably should put that up higher. If your mana is less than 220, then it returns. So that's something to know for lower level guys, because I check for 220 mana. If you're using a lower level decurse that takes less than 220 mana, this is going to burn you. All right, you're not going to be decursing. But anyways, it's a whitelist decurse anyway. It will only remove the curses that I've told it to remove, and I don't have too many in there. All right, everybody looks to be up. We're going to close this. We're going to stop the stream for a moment. We'll be right back, and we're going to reboot.